Can you hear dogs in the background? Bentley is beating up Louie because Louie probably stole a bone or a toy or a squeaky. So who knows? Who knows what it is? They're trying my patience on Friday morning. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come. My favorite shirt. I always wear it to social gatherings just so I can jestfully make fun of everybody, but not really. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. Look, Zoom Team Chat. Zoom Team Chat is probably my favorite modality inside the Zoom ecosystem. I know everyone's like, oh, my gosh. It probably should be meetings, or it probably should be audio or video or phone or rooms or call center. No, it's literally Zoom Team Chat. It's my favorite component of the platform because it's so important to our collaboration today. It's certainly, we rebranded it, I think earlier this week, to Zoom Team Chat, because that's where you collaborate with your team, right? With your coworkers, your colleagues, internal, external. It's certainly a powerful vehicle beyond just direct messaging and instant messaging. We want it fully integrated with the platform. So as we rebrand Zoom Team Chat, I wanted to show you the power of Zoom Chat when you are maybe a Microsoft customer as well. SharePoint's a big part of the story. You can use SharePoint as your file repository for all your channels, right? You can integrate your Zoom Team Chat channels into SharePoint so that every time you upload a file into Zoom, it actually pushes it to SharePoint. Why that's important is, one, now you have a single repository for all files in the collaboration perspective. Two, you can apply compliance and regulatory policies onto those files. And here's why it's super important. Is obviously you want to limit the amount of information users can share internally as well as externally. And some of the most security conscious parts of that is maybe not sharing financial records, right? Credit card numbers, ABA routing numbers, all that those sort of things. You don't obviously want your users to be sharing that information unless some of your users need to share that information. But the point is, the majority don't. So Susie in HR and Steve in sales probably don't need to be sending credit card information via Zoom Team Chat. So we want to apply policies in your Microsoft world that you already have, right? So if you're a Microsoft customer and you're using Zoom Team Chat, you probably already have SharePoint for your file repository. Let's leverage that. You probably already have DLP for PII information. Let's leverage that. For another discussion, we'll do e-discovery. Let's leverage that. Maybe Power Automate. Let's leverage that. But today, let's talk about DLP and data loss prevention. And how do we do that in the Zoom chat world using a Microsoft backend for the SharePoint repository, file repository? Here's how. First of all, I've already integrated one of my chat channels to be a SharePoint chat channel. It is, shockingly enough, called SharePoint Integration Channel. And what this does is when you enable this function inside of Zoom and you spin up a new channel in Zoom Team Chat, it fires off into SharePoint and creates its own website, basically its own SharePoint site, right? And inside that SharePoint site is all your files and documents that you're sharing and collaborating on. So I've already created one, right? I have it, credit card information. I already created a file inside of Zoom. When I created a file inside of Zoom, here's really what's cool, right? Have you seen this? When I integrate a channel inside of Zoom to be SharePoint integrated, now when I want to go to files and upload files, or I can actually upload files from every single cloud service that you'd like. So if you already have a file done that you want to upload into a chat channel, go ahead. But if I want to create a net new one, I can literally create any of the Office 365 Productivity Suite products, again, right inside of Zoom. I'm not having to leave the client to do this. I can literally create PowerPoint files inside of Zoom. And I've done that here, right here, credit card information. I've literally created a credit card information file inside of Zoom with a bunch of fake credit card numbers. So don't try these. They're not going to work. I literally just made them up. Here's what's more important is now that I've created that file inside of Zoom, let's go to SharePoint. Look what's right here. That file is literally automatically put up inside of SharePoint. Cool, right? Cool. Here's the point is that now let's apply DLP policies to that site. I've got you an example right here. I created a U.S. financials data for Zoom policy inside of my DLP tenant inside of Microsoft Purview. And let's look at it a little bit further. Let's maybe configure that a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and data the DLP policy. We're gonna get into the data and see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, those dogs. So I'm actually going to apply this DLP policies to all my SharePoint sites. I'm going to apply it to all Teams and chat channels too. That's going to be more important in a second when we talk about integrating channels from Teams, Microsoft Teams as their collaboration tool, to Zoom Team Chat as their collaboration tool. You can actually integrate these two channels, right, as the same as well. So, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about DLP. So I've created this rule. I've applied it to all the SharePoint sites. I've also applied it to all the Teams channels as well. And next we're going to show you but just basically, this is a basic one, right? This is just information like bank information, ABA routing numbers, credit card numbers, stuff like that. I've applied this policy now to anything that gets pushed into SharePoint. Now watch this. Let's go back into SharePoint and look at this credit card information number right here. That file is uploaded, but here's the point. Look, there's a warning right here. There's a warning that says, hey, your file contains sensitive information. It's actually nailed a policy. Let's look at the policy. This item is shared within your organization. This meets a couple of complexity rules. So now this is protected by your organization. Access to this file is blocked for everyone except its owner, the last modifier, and the site owner. So no one can see this, obviously, but me, because I created it. Also, I also get a warning. So I'm going into Outlook now. I'm actually going to fire off that DLP. It's actually going to warn the admin. I'm the admin, by the way, that some user has hit a policy that you've blocked. It literally tells you credit card information test access is blocked. I now can go to the rules that it hit. Right here is that DLP rule that I just created, that DLP rule that I just created for credit card numbers. And then I'm going to send it to a user that sent it. That would be me. Admin's going to send it and says, don't send this information. Credit card info detected. Are you insane? You can't share stuff like this. I've set all these up in my Microsoft tenant, but you can do that too, right? As an admin, you can literally set up all these rules so you can prevent your users from sharing information. Why this is powerful, again, this is Zoom Team Chat. I'm using the backend of SharePoint to make this happen. I'm using the backend of DLP to make these policies happen. These are Microsoft products. This is a Zoom product. I'm merging them together so this integration can be as flawless as possible. That's an example of how powerful the Zoom Team Chat and SharePoint integration story can be.